All right, everybody, welcome back to the 5DND. Again, with me, we have our fun crew, and we just decided to rest, and we returned back to Esterlin, which is now on the stream. Yeah, so with that being said, we're just wandering into this mostly dilapidated but being rebuilt city. And, yeah, I mean, I guess we're going straight to the Abbey, yes?
Yeah, I mean, I got nothing else to do in this town unless you guys do.
Right. Well, there might be some...
Get it out of the way now. Does anybody want to hit the brothel? Somebody always does.
Well, I was thinking more like supplies for your spells and stuff. There might be an apothecary or two that are open now since it's not on
I mostly
fire.
pick that stuff up from the woods.
You do, but maybe not. Maybe not.
If his character suggested the brothel, I'd like to cover Franklin Tears.
Cameron, would is there someone who sells reagents? So one of my spells, that's something, I think it's Mend, so it's not a terribly, like, high-end spell, takes lodestones, which are, as we know, magnets. And I wonder if someone would carry those. Well, you should know, if you've played D&D before.
I've not.
Well, now you know. A lodestone is a magnet.
The more you know!
Anyway... Would someone carry those, or do I just need to like go search? Is that like uncommon, or is that common in D&D?
That would be common. That would be common enough to grab.
I want to buy some of those. How much do those end up costing?
I am not sure.
I mean, I guess that is a good question. Like, how are our supplies running in general?
Yeah, I'm gonna need to pick up some miscellaneous, some food, some little stuff. And I don't know that I have an exact list right now, but like after the session, I might just make a little list of how much I paid and how much I
bought. I mean, it would be something that would be suggested to the group if we're planning on doing any shopping before we go talk to him in case it ends up in a big, ragey mess. We want to make sure we take care of any supply gathering we need. That's at least something that I would say.
Is the lodestone actually consumed as part of the?
I'm not sure. I don't know.
It would say that it is. If it says that it's consumed as part of it, then you would actually need to get one each time.
Right. Yeah. That's why.
What was the name of the spell? I can look it up while we sort of discuss.
It's Mend.
Okay, I'll look it up real fast, and you guys continue with whatever. Can be noted that we grabbed that as a supply as part of our supply stuff.
No. You just need to have them. It's not consumed.
So like a lot of these, they say a component, right? And then it says what the components are, but the components are consumed, right?
Only if it says they're consumed, and usually it will only be consumed if it has a gold value associated with it.
Where does it say that though? Because like I'm just looking through spells and it doesn't really say.
Are you talking about mending specifically?
I think it's mend or it's mending. It's a cantrip.
Requires 2 lodestones. Let's see. Where physically repairs a magic item or construct, the spell can't restore magic to such an object. It repairs...
Like some of these things say like, oh, it takes a pinch of bat fur, or oh, it takes like a pinch of tiny wire, or iron filings.
Right, I think in this case it probably doesn't.
Okay, well, whatever. I want to buy a set, or a lodestone, regardless.
Yeah, so an example would be... like Chromatic Orb has a material component, it's a diamond worth at least 50 gold.
And it's consumed because it's a good spell.
Yeah, it's consumed as part of the spell itself.
Oh, I get it. So some of the things you'll just have like a pile of iron filings, and it'll be like enough to just cast and cast and cast as much as you want.
Well, the pile would be like an item amount that you would have that generally you don't have to worry about.
Right, but you can buy like 50 spells worth of iron filings.
Right.
Yeah, and you don't have to worry.
Okay. So I do want to pick up some of those, however much, if I have to spend 5 or 10 or whatever gold. That's
as they would all be small, minor things. I mean, you probably spend 5 gold and you'd get everything you need.
Okay.
As far as your basic components, unless it actually has a gold value on it.
Right, and then I can just look it up and purchase, assuming the shop would carry it in this town.
Right.
Okay, I just wanted to double check. So I will pick up a couple things, and I'll look up and see if any of them are things that I would need to look for especially.
Okay. All right. So Oh, go for it, Elijah.
Would I have any idea what a pseudo dragon eats, or what Franklin eats?
You know that he eats good berries, and he doesn't eat crows.
Okay, so if I wanted to...
In other words, you need to figure it out, is I think what he's trying to say.
No, so if you were from just basic knowledge, you would know that it's carnivorous. It's omnivorous. It could eat anything, but it would prefer meat.
Okay.
Generally, in the wild, they would be eating small rodents or birds on a regular basis.
Okay. So while they're shopping for herbs and stuff, I'd like to, I don't know, find maybe some dried meats and things like that I could feed them while we're traveling.
Okay. And while you head to the store, if you do look in that blue pouch of coins, the coins and gems, you'll find about 78 gold pieces in there.
Ooh.
So it should be said that we shop.
Yes. Go to the shop. If you guys need to get anything, feel free to get it.
Like I said, if our supplies are, I might restock, like, trail rations, things like that.
If anybody is wanting to split away from the group, please let me know. Otherwise, you're going to be heading to the Abbey to talk to Father.
Right. I mean, like I was saying, I think the general consensus would be that we grab any supplies in town we need to, then go to the Abbey, because that way we have anything we need from the town in case we can't actually stay, and then we'll go to the Abbey and talk to what's-his-face.
All right, sounds good.
Commander Loeb.
Somebody is typing quite loud.
That was me.
Yeah,
sorry.
That's Josh. He does that.
No, I usually try and mute my mic. That's why I'm normally quiet, but in this case I neglected. So apologies.
Dick.
He's not sorry.
Then he mutes himself. All right. Anyway, so that being said, yeah, I think that's the plan. So then we convene and then go to the Abbey. I think that we should be together for that part.
All right.
For sake of not dying, didn't he?
Okay. Anybody wanting to find anything in specific? Otherwise, we'll head to the Abbey.
Well, now that I know that you don't use up stuff, I don't need any herbs.
Okay. So, like, if you're making, like, tea or something like that, you'd want to get a small supply, but general components, it's more of, like, it's used as part of the spell, but not consumed as part of the spell.
Well, it's more like you don't have to use a whole lot of it, so you usually buy a little bit and have it for a period of time. And, like, so you restock occasionally, but I don't think we've been going long enough for it to be, like, absolutely needs for anything.
You have a piece of chalk and you draw with it, but you can draw a lot with it.
Right.
Fair enough. All right.
So, the Abbey.
To the Abbey.
To the Abbey!
To the Abbey.
Dun! All right, so you guys get to the Abbey.
Dun, 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 dun.
All right, so you guys get to the Abbey, and as you guys enter, you see the place has been cleaned up quite a bit, where there previously was a bunch of scorched rock. It's been scrubbed clean, and several of the windows have a basic glass in place where the original stained glass had been broken, and it's back to a pretty functioning state. As you go further in, you do find Father Jubal, and you're able to talk to him. He greets you all with a "Hello, children. Good to see you again after that terrible night."
Oh yeah, Father, blah blah.
Silence, and everybody talks over.
Well, I mean, I'm going to look to Frath, because, I mean, he's got the most information regarding this.
Yeah, funny thing about that night there, Father Jubbles, is, I was just kind of wondering if you can give me any more of the informations on, what's, happened with the dragons and all.
Not really. I mean, they came into town, they were looking for something, and it looked like, after they burned down quite a bit and they went into the warehouse district, they all just left.
And you wouldn't have any idea of what they was looking for?
Well, we did notice that the robes that we had set aside for Big Steve to take to the capital were all taken. I wouldn't. I didn't think that they would really want those, but no, we didn't. I mean, besides just a lot of money and jewels all got taken, and a lot of the hard-earned people's property was destroyed, but not anything in particular. No.
You know, the funny things about all this there, Father Jubbles, is we actually ended up catching up to that there dragon that was burning down your town.
Yo, you did? Wow.
When he says that, I'd like to make an empathy roll or whatever it's called. Like how he reacts kind of thing.
Are you talking about a intuition?
It's something like that. I'm looking right now. Insight, I believe it is.
You keep using
Insight.
that word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
Insight. Yes, go ahead. Make an insight roll.
That would be 15.
All right. You think that he is genuinely surprised, and
that the dragon made his note, his name specifically.
I haven't told him that yet.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
No. He's surprised that you guys were able to catch up to the dragon, and that you guys are back here after all the people that were in town, and how many people were, how many raiders were in the town and had been destroying everything.
While all of this is going on, the
let me know if I need to make another roll, because I'm going to continue to be reading him in his direction.
Would I know where the Father Blobler sleeps?
The father, what?
Jubbles.
Do you know? Yeah.
Where he sleeps.
I mean, he would be sleeping in the dormitory with the rest of the fathers.
Would I be able to stealthily look through his stuff for, I don't know, any sort of suspicious like things from the dragon or something that he may have traded for to give up the information?
Well, you may be able to get to the dormitory, but identifying which stuff is his versus other priests might be difficult there. It may take time. If you want to try to do that, you definitely can. You could wander away.
No, I'll just quietly wander away then.
All right. Okay. All right.
Anyways, continue the conversation.
Sorry, I gotta write something down here.
He's writing something down. We're all fucked, guys.
No, probably just me. He wandered off on his own. Punch him in the face.
Murder, 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 murder.
Okay. All right. So as you guys are talking, go ahead and continue the conversation as Elijah walks away.
Yeah, you know, the funny thing is, I was talking to the big dragon man there about maybe why he was attacking this town. You know, it's not really common for the dragons to just sort of show up and start just murdering people.
Yeah, it's not. It was so scary. I'm surprised all of us were actually able to live through it all. Thank you very much for the help you guys gave.
And, you know, in talking to the big dragon man there, he mentioned that he was coming here to meet with a person.
He did?
Yeah, you know.
Do you know who?
Well, he didn't have a name per se, but the description he gave was very eerily similar to, you know, you.
Really?
So
what did he say? Oh no, he's genuinely surprised.
Okay.
He is somewhat speechless and is taken aback.
Okay.
Well, I mean, you know, just in the unlikely scenario that you have some sort of evil twin brother or doppelganger, or, you know, just like a guy you're often confused for while walking through town, that, you know, you're the kind of the guy who brought him here and had him, you know, burn down this whole town here.
That... I have no idea why he would say that. I had never seen that dragon
It just
before.
seems terribly coincidental that he would give me a description that fits you exactly. Like a guy making someone up would rattle things off, and I would think to myself, like, maybe, oh, I guess I know a guy. But when he describes you, I'm thinking, oh, I do know that guy.
What did he describe? What did he say?
I don't remember what you said on that day. I will repeat that,
It was 3 weeks ago. Come on.
Yeah.
The dragon described a short, fat man with an odd name.
He described a shorter, kind of fatter guy with a very strange name. Jubbles, I don't think is very common in these parts. You kind of a poor people, so mostly svelte little skinny things. You seem kind of, fat.
Well, you are correct. I am quite rotund. I have enjoyed the many different delicacies of food that I've been able to eat here in the Abbey, and the wine is quite good. But I think you may be mistaken. It is going to be somebody else and not me.
Well, I mean, how many short, fat guys with funny names do you really have in this town? It's not like a very big town. It's a little small. There's maybe 3 in total, and I could walk around and knock on doors and go asking a bunch of questions, but it again just seems very coincidental.
Not to mention the fact that you would know a lot of the workings on in this area, as you hold a place of prestige amongst these people.
He genuinely looks shocked, and he is starting to get mad that you guys are accusing him of this.
Hey, look, we're not saying you're fat or anything. I'm just saying, in a town like this, when, a heavy-set gentleman is used, you'd be the one to come to mind.
Well, that, and yet we have inns full of traders coming in and out every single day. There's 3 inns just off the main center of town that will have people coming in and out every single day. It's a new crowd.
Can you recall where the highest concentration of all the fire was, maybe? Perhaps on a specific building, like maybe near where they'd be looking for someone that they're trying to meet up with?
Mostly in the warehouse district was where almost everything was destroyed. And the primary items that were pulled out of the town were, the only thing besides personal objects was there were 2 carts pulled out of Big Steve's warehouse. Everything else was...
Would you know any of the people who maybe frequent the warehouse district? Maybe people of the shorter, fatter persuasion, much like yourself, with a funny, stupid-sounding last name?
He just looks at you very cross after that.
I'm not a people person. I don't know why you guys put me at the forefront of this. You're welcome.
Okay, at this point, Vinyasa is gonna kind of... She's gonna get a frown on her face and then look to Frath and say that, what if he was not talking about Jubles, but instead Steve himself? He would not be would he not be a traitor who would know of these location of these things?
If I were there, I'd be like, yeah, Steve's a prick.
I don't think Steve is a... You're not. I don't think that Steve is a very funny sounding name. It's like Steve.
But the name like Big Steve could be considered a funny name, could it not?
Yeah, not really. I mean, dragons are pretty big. So, Big Steve, they just think like a big guy named Steve. Not stupid creatures, dragons. They're, like yourself. I don't count you as stupid, just, kind of stupid.
True, but I am also not sure if... Well, I do not know the naming schemes of all people, so I do not know. But it seems that he is also a fit of this description, and I do not sense any kind of lies with the father here. So I'm just
as you guys are talking, Father Jubal looks at Zenyasa and says, "Thank you. Now, if you'll excuse me, I must get ready for evening service."
Well, actually, Father Jubble's there, before you get ready for your little talkings and going-ons about Sky People, I was wondering if maybe you would know anybody in town who would maybe fit this description or be a likely candidate, because still so far I'm kind of gunning for you there, big guy. As a prominent figure in town, I assume you would know many of the townsfolk. Maybe there's like a guy with a lazy eye who seems a little shifty.
Well, I mean, yes, there are people with the lazy eyes. I mean, there are the few homeless.
I like that he just buys in and that automatically makes somebody evil. Jubal's is not a smart man.
No, he said lazy eye. He did not say an evil lazy eye.
That's true.
But I mean, if you're looking for the sort that might be considered evil, you would probably find them more towards some of the more seedier bars. You can find those probably closer to the main roads right on the edge of town. On the eastern edge, right as you were to come in from the main road off Mer Center, there's several of them where a lot of the folks that don't really want to see the guards hang around there.
Yeah, it doesn't sound oddly specific or anything, so I'll head that way now there, Jubbles, but, don't you go, wandering off too far or anything.
Why would I...
I'm just gonna walk away at that point.
Okay.
Because, again, I have no social skills.
He's just...
Are you even gonna attempt to roll on that at all?
For what?
Just reading his reactions to everything.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I probably should, huh?
I mean, it's your choice. Just that
No, I mean, I agree. Like, it's exactly what I'm looking for. So, but right. I think I know how this is going to turn out. Would you rather I roll the insight or perception?
Your choice. Whichever one you think will give you.
I think I'd rather do perception.
Well, they're
better
both
for me.
gonna.
I have a dot on perception that makes.
If that were the case, I would have rolled perception as well, considering the fact that I have the bonus on that.
Yeah, but you're a failure.
Ah, because insight is usually what's used to read people.
Yeah.
Whereas perception is to notice, like...
Well, maybe I'm less trying to pick up on his emotions, but notice a tick or something. What if Homeboy's under a spell? You know what I mean?
I believe for the purpose of the rules it would run under insight, but if that's the case, I will start using perception.
You gonna argue with the DM right now, motherfucker? Really?
No, I'm just making sure that's clearly what we're going with, because if we're going with that, I'm gonna start using perception. I'm way better at perception than I am with insight.
I am the law! Judge Dredd, anybody? Rolling now.
Yes.
16 plus 6. You do the math.
Yeah, so you think that he genuinely is not the person you were looking for from the way he was responding to you. You think he was entirely surprised.
As a minor adjustment to what I did, before I walk away, I'll give him a wink, and then I'll leave. Because, that's something that people do. But a really awkward wink, like I don't know how to do it right.
Yeah. It's one of those things where he's winking in a way he doesn't really know how to use. Kind of like Death and his establishment in the Discworld.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
So we're gonna go off on that. Why don't we jump to Mr. Eladriel and his search?
All right. Eladriel.
Yes.
So, as you are walking around, are you trying to be overly stealthy? Are you trying to just fit in? What are you trying to do?
So while I'm walking over to the dorms, I'm just kind of just walking normal, just looking around as if I belong there, not trying to not be seen, but to not be suspicious.
Mm-hmm.
Once I get there, though, I'd like to have Franklin take a peek and see if I get a sense that there's people in there or that kind of thing.
That thing is very well trained for being a whole day old.
No, sorry, Franklin would not want to go inside.
Okay. Can I... Well, if I go inside, can I have him, watch the door?
He would stick around there. He might lose... might not be patient enough for it and just...
Okay.
wander off and do his own thing for a little bit. But yeah.
All right, fair enough. Yeah, I'll still not bring him inside just in case. I don't want him ruffling around if I do have to hide or something.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll keep him outside, just hoping he watches out and alerts me, even if it's whatnot.
Okay.
But I will try to stealthily break into the dormitory.
Stealthily.
All right. So yeah, you're able to get inside. There's not really anybody in there. They're doing their daily tasks and whatnot. You're able to see several different. I mean, there's 8 different beds, and each of them have a small dresser next to them and have a trunk near the bottom. There's nothing really identifiable between any of those. Besides, some of them do have some books on the dressers.
Okay, so they're all pretty much similar. And I don't really notice anything, or can I do a perception check to see if I can find Father Bibble's stuff?
Yeah. I mean, go ahead. Give me a perception check. You'll probably be searching through the books or whatnot to see if there's anything of note.
You're just digging through Homeboy's underwear, seeing if it smells funny.
15 plus 21 on the perception.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Now that I look at this, it probably would be. Sorry, not perception, but investigation. So
okay.
15. Do you have any bonuses on that?
So it'll be. No, I don't. So it'd be 15 plus intelligence, so 16.
Okay. All right. So you're able to actually find Father Jubal's just journal that's on one of the dressers. A quick rummage through the dresser finds a few small gold rings that are more. They look like ceremonial devices, and his journal, some clothes. Not a whole lot of stuff.
Okay. In his journal, can I? Is it in a language I can read?
Yeah, it's just basic common speech.
It's in demonic.
I can actually read that.
That
Sure,
would not
but no,
your regular father there.
I'm exactly.
Well, that's why I'm like, is there anything fishy about this? And he's similar.
I mean, it looks
I'm making
like
the weird joke.
As he's actually just like talking, or as he's just writing things around, it just looks like it's a daily account of things that have happened. How anything the people that he met that day. If you go back to the days of where there was the actual attack, it looks like he wrote quite a bit, and he mentioned and noted that he prayed for all the people that had died, and he actually listed out the names of every body that they found.
Knowing Galadriel, it's like TLDR, you know?
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, most of what I'm looking for are any hints that he met with a representative of the dragon, or anything of that sort.
You don't find anything of that nature at all.
Okay.
So he's kind of been absolved.
Yeah, so I'm just going to carve my initials into his bookcase and then walk off.
Okay. All right.
Really?
Carve it right into
his journal?
Yeah, like right into his text of choice, whatever religion this weird religion is.
Oh,
just carve it right into that.
That's a great idea. Let's just, destroy
That's not
sanctified
sacrilegious
books.
at all.
Those could be anybody's initials.
Fair enough.
Well, nobody knows my last name, so it doesn't bloody matter.
Also, it's in Elvish. You don't read Elvish, bro.
Nope,
Prove it.
Which is...
All right.
Yeah, and then...
sorry, if you have more to say.
No, I was just going to say I'm going to make my way back.
All right, so then to Frath, Xenios is going to say, perhaps it is worth our time to try and investigate further into the warehouse district as well as ask people questions.
Wait, were you talking to me?
Yes.
Oh,
Frath.
sorry, repeat that. I got stuck.
Perhaps it is worth our time to go back to the warehouse district and see if there is any clues as to who tipped them off there?
Yeah, it can't be too hard. We're just looking for fat people with stupid names.
I do think that the father did bring up a very important point, though, that it is possible that it was not somebody who lives here.
I mean, anything's possible, I guess, there, but seems like an oddly specific meeting place for a fucking dragon.
But it still strikes me as sort of strange that of all the people that would know what is in...
sorry, just really quick. What was exactly what the dragon told us? When I asked him about this, did he say he was meeting a guy here? Like, what was the phrasing on this?
Or they were Lady Resmer had been contacted by a short, fat man with a weird name. He just had the description from Lady Resmer.
Yeah.
So he didn't actually have first-hand info.
I guess
she described him as a short, fat man with a weird name that had given them the information.
I will relay this to Steven, but
it seems like with how close she was, staying to here, it would make sense that it's somebody who is out of here regularly.
But again, would not a merchant be in and out?
I don't know Big Steve's pattern. He may not come out here himself ever.
This is very true.
We do not know that he has ever actually made it to this town.
Perhaps.
It seems like he uses couriers like yourselves.
Perhaps then it might be worthwhile to ask some of the people in the district whether or not his warehouse, or the warehouse that these things were kept, is something that he frequents, or if it rather is that he just happened to be through. Because if he has been here multiple times, it might be worth looking into him, which would also allow us to both fulfill our contract as well as ask him questions.
Yeah, I'm still not too worried about this stupid contract of yours, but we can go.
So, at that point, we're going to meander towards that district then.
All right.
At least I'm going to.
Okay. Yazatar, are you going with them?
Yes.
All right. Are you guys waiting for Ladriel at all, or no?
I mean, do we even notice he left? He could be that good.
Now you do notice that he's not there with you guys.
We would know that he left, but knowing him, it's probably not worth worrying. He's probably off doing shenanigans, or at least that's how my character would perceive it. So, that's a thing.
I suppose my character probably just wouldn't give a shit.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I'm just going to go.
That hurts.
I mean, if any of the other two left, he wouldn't give a shit either. You guys can go off and do this contract. He's going to continue on this dragon thing until it's solved. That's his only motivation here. It's the only reason he's here, is because dragons. He doesn't give a shit about nothing else. So, yeah, I'm just going to go.
Yeah, so we meander to that district of the distribution and warehousery and find some people to ask.
So you do go over there, and you notice
Specifically fat people. I'm not talking to anybody who isn't fat.
I'd probably talk to somebody who looks like they kind of run more of the area. Like, maybe, not a gate guard, but maybe like, what is it, like, what's the word I'm looking for? The guy that keeps the books. Not the accountant, but you know what I mean? Like somebody who is...
One of the, tax collectors?
I mean, it could be, I guess, a tax collector, but it's somebody who would
Their
have,
lead
like,
financier?
The census guy?
Well, so in a place like a warehouse, you'd imagine that
librarian.
Well, keep in mind, this is not a warehouse, it's a warehouse district. There are going to be several warehouses here owned by different people, companies, whatever. I mean, if anything...
Well, that being said, then I'm going to ask somebody who looks, or who has some information as to, even if it's just one of the warehouses, just persons who seem to be in the know.
And is fat. Go.
Doesn't matter if it's fat for my character. His for fat, me for just the person who looks like they keep some books.
Steven walks up to somebody who looks like he may know something. I walk up to the first fat guy I see.
There you go.
Okay.
Perfect.
So, alright, let me see. We got two conversations going on here.
I'm alright with it.
Pick one.
I talk to myself all the time, bro.
We're just gonna bounce back every 30 seconds.
This should be interesting.
Frath, you go up to the first fat guy you see. What do you say?
Hey there, Mr. Fat Guy there. What's your name?
Excuse me?
You know, I'm just kind of wondering what your name is. Is it like stupid sounding or something?
No, Peter's not stupid. Who are you?
Oh, don't worry about their fat stuff. You wouldn't happen to know, like, dragons or dragon ladies or, you know, anything of that nature?
And
oh, no, I wish we didn't split up.
Zenyasa.
We're going to leave this town on fire.
Zenyasa, you go up to a
guy. Yeah.
You just random guy you think...
Well, I mean, it's like I said, somebody who looks like they're keeping books. Like a guy, if there's a guy scribbling on a goddamn parchment by a warehouse, that's the guy I'm going to.
Alright, you go up to him.
Excuse him, right?
Yeah, him.
Excuse me, sir. I just wish to ask some questions about some of the owners of the warehouses in this area.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Most notably, do you know if a Big Steve, right?
Fat
Shut
Steve.
Up. If Big Steve, does he own a warehouse here, or is he just in passing?
Yes, he does own a warehouse. It was the large one that was burned down. And back to Frath. So, the guy that you're talking to that's fat, he just like looks at you in disgust and says, "What do you want?"
You know, just trying to figure out why your whole fucking town was burnt down by a big dragon. Not trying to help or anything there, fat stuff. Go on, go about your day now. You're okay.
Yeah, and whatever, and he just walks off.
Yeah, I'm gonna go look for the next fat guy.
Okay. All right, you go start looking. Back to Zenyasa.
Does Steve often frequent this town, or is it more that he is here sporadically?
He usually comes in about every 2 or 3 months. He has a lot of shipments that go in and out, and usually he has at least 1 or 2 people manning his warehouse.
When was the last time that he was here?
He was here about a month ago.
Now, for reference, that's approximately the time frame that would be from him coming to this town to the place that we met him, plus the time for us to go there and forward.
That's probably about 2 weeks prior to you guys meeting him at Merced.
And it was a couple. What was it, like a week travel there, or was it like a couple days? Like, what was the?
It was 3 days to get there. So
okay, got it.
I mean, it was
so relatively recently before we met.
Yeah, about 16, 18 days before the attacks, he was in town.
Perfect.
Okay.
And at that point, she'd probably just say, "Thank you for your time," and move on to finding Frath.
Okay. And Frath, as you are approaching the next fat person that you see, Zenyasa comes up behind you and...
Frath,
Guess who?
sorry. Right. Except for not. I asked somebody who I assume owns one of the warehouses, and it turns out that one of the place that was burned down is actually owned by Steve himself. And the last time he was here was about a month ago, or you said a month ago, right?
It was about 2 weeks prior to the attack.
It was about 2 weeks prior to the attack that happened here. This puts him back into my thoughts as to possibly being able to talk with the woman who met with him.
Well, the lady who met with Big Steve is dead. We, killed her. She's not alive.
But still, the point being that he is here frequently. Therefore, he would know enough about the area and would be here, and is here around the same time that we are looking for somebody. I still think it is possible that maybe he is the culprit to begin with.
It is, of course, possible, but do we really want to leave this city and then have it not be Steve and then have to come back here and find another fat guy? I'm just not really willing to put all of our eggs in the Steve basket, mostly because Steve still isn't that stupid of a name.
Fair enough. I feel that we might be going for a red herring with just looking for just somebody who happens to be in the town.
No. We're looking for a fat somebody with a stupid name who hangs out in a warehouse district.
Do I know about the people that we're looking for?
No, you weren't in part of
No,
the
you
conversation.
weren't in that part of the conversation.
Okay, so it wasn't anything was related to this. Okay, fair enough.
At this time, you had finished looking through all of... we're going to take a break here with Zenyatta and Frath. Eladriel, at this point, you've finished your investigation and are thoroughly convinced that Father Jubal wrote down and you found nothing regarding any sort of meaning at all with Lady Resmer or anything to do with the dragon.
Okay. So when I walk out, do I know where they went? Like if I ask around people?
You could ask around, and they would, people would say that they headed over to the warehouse district.
Okay. I would like to go to the closest tavern to the warehouse district then.
All right. Sounds good.
Okay.
He's going to go have a meal. Yazata, you really haven't said anything at all regarding what you are doing during this time.
I don't have a strong urge really to find out sort of Big Steve. I mean, we agreed to do this thing, but, like, I suspect that I'm sort of just, probably going to be sort of carrying along with Zenyatta. I don't have a strong investment beyond sort of, the curiosity and figuring out what's gone on, but I don't think this relates to my bigger quest, sort of that feeling of evil in the world. I haven't really got, like it seems like this is definitely, there's some stuff going on, but it doesn't, like that greater spreading evil is not something that I'm terribly sensing here. So I'm probably mostly sticking with Zenyatta. And I don't have any other errands or anything.
Would you have any input into the conversation that has gone on? Because you would have overheard all the things that have happened in the warehouse district.
I mean, I don't necessarily approve of going around critiquing fat people all the time.
Right. But I mean, still, like, what input would you put in then? I'm curious, or if any.
I don't really have very much to say right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm more interested in observing.
Okay. All right. So if you guys do you guys actually have an idea what you're going to do? So Frath, you're just kind of asking random fat people, and Zenyatta's saying, this doesn't really make a lot of sense. Eladriel's kicking it back at the nearest tavern.
How far back was it to where we met?
3 days. It's 3 days.
3 days, yeah.
I mean, honestly, that's if we feel like we're barking up the wrong tree, 3 days is not that bad.
Exactly. That's part of.
And we already sort of know that now there's less of this dragon threat.
Let's be fair as well. We don't know that Big Steve has stayed in the town we met him in. We ran into a guy giving away a job. That does not mean it's his main area where he operates out of. It does not mean
there was some indication that it was his main area, or not his main area, but that he sort of is around just because this is his sort of his trade route area.
Yeah, the indication was his route comes through that area.
So yeah, I mean, he could have moved along further.
He could have, but it's likely that he's
if we just end up following this chain and it ends up leaving nowhere, I would hate to leave this town. And even if it does end up being Steve, but we can get more evidence in this town from it being Steve, I think it's really dumb to leave after we just go, I kind of feel like it's Steve. Like, let's at least get something more concrete before we walk away from here. Because again, it's 3 days to the next town. It's not 3 days to Steve.
The other thing is this worth pursuing? I mean, do we even care? We've done this work, but is this worth the payday?
The next bit I was going to bring up.
Like, right? I'm not sure it's worth investing more time, because the more time we dig, like, we're already being reimbursed. We might not even be paid because all the shit is gone.
Right. To be fair, that's your character's motivation. My guy does not give a fuck about this contract, these items, that gold, that money, that anything. He is purely here to figure out why dragons are doing shit that they do not normally do.
But you were part of the agreement, right?
Yeah, but I don't give a fuck about that. What are they going to do? Hunt me down in the middle of the nowhere where I live?
Well, no, you basically just signed up to get a reward of money.
Yeah,
Frath there wasn't anything.
Well, I mean, sure, but why would you? Janky shit happening. Like, we went over this. Like, when it happened, I went over this. Mm-hmm. My guy only signed up because this group was heading in the direction where janky shit was happening. And people are better than no people. But if there's no people, that's of no consequence to Fraff.
I guess the question is, like, so he officially said, yeah, sign me up to Steve himself?
Fraff?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, he did, but he doesn't actually care.
Fair enough.
It was just a means to an end. It was, hey, there's a party going this way. Sure, I'll join your party. Actually, if you remember, I already gave my gold to Eduardo. I already said I didn't give a shit about.
Well, no,
the price.
I understand that aspect. I'm just trying to understand like whether or not he would accept something directly to him and then just break that word.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's fine.
Because people and shit like that mean nothing to him. He does not give 2 fucks.
And then, so in the tavern, I'm trying to...
And what was like, about this tavern?
Yeah, hold on. There's a couple of things I'd like to do there as well before we leave this town.
Okay.
Well, it doesn't sound like we're leaving anytime soon, so that's fine.
Fucking bitter much?
Wow.
That's not what I meant.
Well,
I was simply
not
meaning...
going anywhere, are we?
No, I meant it more like there isn't a push for time in that regard, is all I was getting at.
Fair enough.
All right. So you guys are having a conversation regarding what the next best step is, and why you guys are doing that. Eladriel, what were you wanting to do in the bar?
So in the tavern, there's a couple of things I'd like to do. First off, order myself a drink.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm still very curious. I'm gonna be asking around for this character, the information that I was looking for in the diary kind of stuff, like a fat guy with a funny name. I'm just kind of been asking about that because that's the only part of it I heard before I walked away. So I just kind of, buy people a couple drinks, grease some palms, just trying to figure out what's going on here.
Okay. So give me a investigate on that. Roll.
Oh god, no! I got a 4. And
I'm sorry, that's so much fucking better. Next time, just say it 2.
And then so it would be 5. Yeah, total 5.
All right. So, what really ends up happening is you as you got into the bar, you got a drink, and you drank it down pretty quickly, and you didn't really realize how strong it was, and you started kind of asking around and buying some guys some drinks, asking some questions, and you kind of got a little drunk in the process, and you don't really remember everything, and you're just kind of having a really great time now. And you're still trying to ask about the fat guy with the crazy name, and where he came from, if anybody knows him, and
wait, he wouldn't know about that, would he?
He heard that. He heard the description.
That's what I went to go look for through the priest stuff.
Yeah.
So and one of those basically walking around the bar going, "You're a fat guy. Let's have a drink."
Yeah, basically.
He's asking people at the bar whether they know it, and you're getting a little louder as things go on, but you're still buying people drinks, so they really don't mind too much. And it ends up just kind of like you end up kind of just having a party as the whole bar just keeps getting bought drinks by you, and you don't quite realize what's happening.
All right, that's fair.
At some point, I'd probably arrive at this tavern.
Eddie, you're going to take home the entire bar.
As
Menage a all.
Each time you go up to a guy, you start asking him about the fat guy with the funny name, and you get louder and louder and louder to the point that every time you ask about it, everybody around him lifts up their drink and toasts to the fat guy with the funny name.
I'd like it to be at that point that I walk into this tavern looking to get myself a meal.
I think we would actually head this way because somebody would mention, "Hey, everybody at a tavern's talking about a fat guy with a funny name."
Well, for some reason, we end up being here, yes.
and
I'd like to walk in right as everyone's like, "To the fat guy with a funny name."
Wait, do I notice when they walk in?
Well, okay. First, give me a Constitution check on your.
All right, let's see here.
Terrible.
14 plus.
Okay,
3,
so
17.
you're not totally sloshed just yet. You're not quite realizing how drunk you are, but you're not passing out yet.
Yep.
And
Nice.
you're quite past the happy buzz stage. But yeah, you do notice them as they come in, and you kind of stumble on over to them and say, all these people keep talking about the fat guy with the funny name. And as you say that, the whole tavern lifts up lifts up their takers. To the fat guy with the funny name!
Okay, then I like to be. All right, let's get my friends here some drinks. This tall drink of murky water. I owe this one a drink right here. And I'm pointing to Zenyasa. And I'm like, I've been asking all of these questions the whole time. I think Franklin's pooped in a corner. And everyone knows the fat guy with the funny name.
The fat guy with the funny name.
And my character's gonna kind of she's gonna cue a card, sit down at the bar, and then order some food.
And a tankard gets dropped in front of you by one of the maids.
And is this some kind of swill that I actually would like to palate, or is it some awful thing that he decided to get me?
It's just a regular beer.
Is it labeled something like Dragon's Piss or Dragon's Tears or something? I hope it's dragon themed.
It's Angel Sweat, bitches. Angel Sweat.
Angel Sweat? That sounds like a great alcohol.
Is that like crappy MDMA? Or like PCP? It's just PCP.
I'm going to grab while we were down at the warehouse district, we could see Big Steve's building, yes?
The one that was burned down, yeah.
Yeah, you can see that people were like boarding up one of the walls and they are working on it.
So it is not completely burnt down?
No, one of the walls was burned down and a side of it had actually burned. But
I'm going to grab Eladriel and drag him out of the bar.
Okay. So, Eladriel, after you order the drinks for everybody, Frath comes up and grabs you. Do you have any response as he grabs you and he starts tugging you away?
Wait! We gotta get Franklin! And I go get Franklin.
Alright. As you're looking for him, you find him actually up in one of the rafters, just kind of looking down at you. And his head's just kind of wobbling back and forth, like he's kind of drunk too. When he
cheeky bastard.
When he hops off, he kind of like just falls onto you, and you have to catch him. And you kind of stumble as you end up grabbing him and holding him as you walk him out the door.
I'm okay with this.
Okay.
So
as I'm walking with Eladriel, I'm just going to explain. Hey there, buddy guy. You know, I'm going to need you to break into a building. You know, you seem pretty good at that.
Okay.
So, as a note, I'm going to eat my meal, and while I do so, I'm going to be listening to hear if anything comes up that, not asking, but just listening to people and what they might say at this point.
All right.
You never know. Might catch
Yazata, are you sticking around at the bar as well?
Yeah. I think, I'll stick around for a little bit. I think I probably came in about the same time as Inyasa, so what I'll do is finish my drink. I'm not going to stick around for a super long time, and then I'm going to head out and go meet up with Frath and Eladriel.
So my plan, like I said, is just to have a meal.
Yep.
I've got a 20 on a perception in case anything comes up. Let me know, but take it away with those guys.
All right.
Yep.
Okay, so Frath and Eladriel, go ahead and start your conversation there, Frath, again.
Okay, so are we actually down by the warehouse that we need to be?
So you're kind of walking him over there, saying you're wanting to, you're needing him to break into a building. Go ahead. Why don't you go ahead and give me a perception check, or actually an insight check here. Give me an insight check.
So +4. 8.
All right. You don't really notice that he's drunk.
Yeah.
So, you go ahead, you grab him, and you're walking on down. It'd just take a few moments to get there, and you could get him on over there.
So I'll just tell him, that Zenyasa dragon lady seems to think this Big Steve has problems, and I couldn't really find the fat guy with the stupid name. So I'm gonna need you to get inside of that Big Steve warehouse there and just pop open that doors for me.
Wait. I don't think Big Steve could fit through the door.
No.
All right.
It's a pretty big door there.
I don't realize he's drunk, so...
Yeah, you don't.
I will go and check for you. But hold on. During my travels, I heard of this beast. Huge. Maybe if I make same kind of noises, Big Steve will respond. I proceed to make whale noises, or what I think whale noises would be like.
Okay. Whoa.
I don't know much about, getting inside places, but I don't know that that's actually going to make the door open any more than it's open, which is fun.
Okay, I would like to try and get inside of this place.
All right. So as you guys get there, there's not really anybody around. You're able to get in through one of the walls. It hasn't been fully boarded up. In towards the back of the office area that has been locked up. Go ahead and what is the thieving skill that they have? That would be.
It's not just stealth, is it?
Depends on what he's doing, but yeah, sleight of hand
possibly is what I would expect. Yeah, sleight of hand is what I'd say. But as you are drunk, please roll with disadvantage.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
18 on the first one plus 6.
We'll roll the second die.
Yeah, just roll the second.
And 10 plus 6, so 16.
16. All right. So yeah, you are able to drunken master pick that lock open, and your arms are moving a little wildly, and every once in a while they kind of just slap the pick a little bit. And after
anytime the pick makes noise, I like to turn around and look at Prath and be like, shh, and then go back to picking the lock.
And eventually, the last time you turn around, your shoulder just kind of hits it, and it actually turns the whole lock, and is able to open up the door for you. As you then turn around and kind of.
I'd like to think your guy finishes by doing this.
Open sesame.
And open.
All right.
If I have any device in my hand, I like to drop it like a mic.
You could drop the pick.
And then I probably waddle and pick it up because it's mine.
Yeah, as I completely ignore him and walk to the door and go, you dropped your little pick thing. And just walk through the door.
All right.
No respect. No respect.
And you kind of like stumble and sit down propped up against the door for a little bit. All right. So, Frath, you're able to get into his main office area. You got access to like his desk and stuff. This would probably be an investigate here.
Investigation. Plus intelligence. 17, 18, 19, 20.
All right. So I mean, as you're looking through the desks and stuff, you do kind of note that everything you're finding does point to what looks like regular business. I mean, you're finding just like manifest. You're not finding anything out of the ordinary until you get to the list of recent things that were brought in, and it looks like everything was pretty normal, and then there was a really, really like faint, like it was erased or like scratched off list of a large leather-bound book.
So that book was in with what we were getting.
Yeah, and that's the only thing of note that you can find in this.
Okay. I'm just going to shove that in my pocket, and as I walk out, I'm just going to kind of knock a Ladriel and take him with me.
Right.
Can I see, I always get your fucking names backwards because they're too goddamn similar.
Yazata and Zenyasa.
Yazata, I think, in this case.
Gerhalte.
Yeah, I'm in the tavern, so you're not going to see me.
So, is Yazata there at this point?
They're still in the tavern.
Well,
Yazata is too?
I headed out a little bit early.
Okay.
I'll probably.
So yeah, he would probably
I was a little bit worried about.
After
Eddie.
after you get out of the warehouse, you'll find him standing out in the yard looking for you guys.
Okay. I'm just gonna grab him and go.
do you remember that Steve guy who gave you that contract saying anything about that book, that Flappy Bird book, being a part of the cargoes?
Wait, I don't think that the book he's referring to is the Biblionine.
No, it probably. I think you're mistaking the Biblionine with the book that.
The summoning book. Or
yeah.
whatever.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Well,
Yeah.
either way, I'll bring up,
that leather bound, Did he mention there being any sort of book that we were supposed to retrieve for him?
I don't recall anything like that.
It was on the list, if I recall.
Yes. So it wasn't what he told you guys you needed to get, but when you guys got the shipping list from his office before, the book was on there, and the Father Jubal did note that he didn't know what that book was. He just knew about the robes that were on.
Okay, so if Gerhalte says he doesn't remember it, then, or sorry, Gerhalte says he doesn't remember it.
But that's more of a I don't remember it as in I don't know.
Okay.
If it's on the list,
that's why I was filling that in. Yeah,
sure. Yeah, if it's on the list, then yes, I do recall that being there. And
okay. So then I'll show him the
like-
list that
yeah.
I have and say,
So do you think it's kind of strange that he would scratch it off of this list after making it a very specific thing for us to bring back? Why would he not want the people housing his equipment to know that this simple little book was a part of it?
it does seem sort of suspect. I think probably that indicates he's up to no good, either trying to smuggle it away or something.
Would you say that Steve is a weird-sounding name?
Why are you laughing at him? What's so funny?
No comment. I think, everyone, people have different names.
I think dragons may be dumber than I thought they were.
All right. So with that, you guys have finished your overall investigation. We are coming up on our close for the night.
It is 2 after the 9 o'clock frame, so
I think this is a good place to call it. So next week, I think we can agree we're all going to head out to find Big Steve.
That sounds like a plan.
I'm
why
I'm
he's being
down
all
for this.
shifty-eyed.
He's getting swifty, bro. He's gonna
Swifty.
he's gonna shit right on the floor.
Yeah, he's gonna take off his panties,
Oh, I'm not coming to D&D next week.
That being said, we are all on for next week, correct? I think it's the week after that we have.
Yeah, 17.
Yes. So
So next week we will be here for the more D&D. I think the week after we are taking another break because our GM will be off doing some fun thing. With
Don't worry, guys. I'll GM for us.
Oh, that'll be fun.
So
no,
yes,
I mean, I might pick up the whole stream then. We'll see.
I will be on, and then the following week, the 24th, FIGBird
I will be out for
here as
TwitchCon,
well, so.
and I believe...
When is TwitchCon?
TwitchCon is the weekend there, but I have travel time.
Oh,
so,
okay.
I took the Thursday to do the travel time part. So
I'm probably around. As you guys know, I'm starting a new job, so we'll see how that goes, but I shouldn't be working in the evenings this early.
Let us know.
Yeah.
Definitely
We may end up just having to do a couple weeks. I'm going to be in Italy in probably a month.
Aren't you Mr. Fancy Dick?
Okay, well we will play that bit
We'll
by ear.
plan it out.
Meantime,
Yes,
guys,
we'll plan it. But
we'll play it by ear. But for the meantime, guys, we will be back next week for some more D&D. This video for this will go up on the YouTubes that you can hit up
The YouTubes.
with the YT command. Yep, the YouTubes.
YouTube.
But other than that, thank you for, exactly. Other than that, thank you guys for the follow, thank you for the watching, all that fun stuff, and we will see you next time. Tomorrow, I should note, I might be a little bit late as I have a follow-up appointment concerning my fun hand problem that I have. Which is not to say that I masturbate. Yeah, not to say that, but to say that, the hand that I fucked up, yeah. So I may be a little bit late for tomorrow, but otherwise, if not, we will be starting up. I believe Chrono Trigger is going to be the retro night for the choice, which should be pretty fun. Other than that, what was that?
Chrono Trigger, the Winnie the Pooh.
Chrono Trigger, yeah, we're gonna bounce around in time. Then of course Sunday's actually kind of a limbo date right now for us because we have a bunch of games from PAX and stuff we might showcase, but it all depends on what goes on.
Brawlhalla.
So we'll as well.
Oh, yeah, so let's do Brawlhalla. if you do that,
there's a bunch of stuff that we might be able to do. So we'll see. Either way, Sunday will be a thing. We'll have a bunch of time. We'll probably showcase some of the stuff that we have, do some giveaways, the fun shit like that.
For the record, I also got our mellow. Just saying.
Well, yeah, I do plan on
I did get our mellow too.
I saw that. I will be picking that up probably in the next couple of days. Perhaps we will do a multiplayer of that. We shall see. In either case, that being said, we will be back tomorrow, as I said. And peace out, don't explode, have a fun time, and all the fun shit.
Wooden pops!
See ya.
All right, peace, boys.
Bye.
Peace.